Hello, this video will review how to give quiz feedback on YuJa videos. Now, in addition to adding content-based quiz questions into your videos, you can also provide feedback for those questions and question answers, specifically within the question types of multiple choice, true, false, and multi-select. The first step is to create your video or pull in your video and then add in the quiz. So as a review, you would go into your course, you would choose Tools and Resources and YuJa Media Library, and then you would be able to either create a video or pull in a video from YouTube or another place online. In this case, we'll make it easy and just pull in a video from YouTube. So we'll choose Upload and then Link and then pick YouTube. Paste in the YouTube link, give it a name, and then it's always encouraged to import from YouTube rather than embed it, because that's going to make a copy of the video actually into your YuJa account so that if it's ever taken off YouTube, you don't use it. Then we'll start that upload. Once that is in place, we can begin to add our quiz questions. So we'll go to More, and then Quizzes, and then we're going to create a video quiz. This is considered a content quiz. Once the video completely finishes uploading, you'll see another quiz option, which is a playback quiz, and that's just giving the students a grade based upon how much of the video that they've watched. This is actually creating a content quiz where we add in our own questions. So we'll create a video quiz, and we'll just go ahead and give it a name. It's highly encouraged that in the name of the quiz that you name it Content Quiz, because this will also be a video that you could just pull in as the video itself without the quiz. So it's a good idea to actually have the word Content Quiz in the name of this quiz itself. Then, before we start adding in quiz questions, we want to align our settings so that it will allow us to give feedback. So we're going to go to Settings here, and we're going to choose to Provide Answer Right Away. This has to be selected to even get the option to be able to give any feedback. You can choose to disable fast forwarding if you want to. That will prevent the student from scrubbing to the questions and answering them and not actually watching the full video. It's not encouraged for you to choose disable resubmitting of questions, because if you do this, it will block them from being able to watch the video again and then by default take the quiz within it. So if they want to review the video after they submit the quiz, it will actually not allow them to do that. So you probably don't want to check this. You probably want to leave this unchecked so that it will allow them to resubmit quiz questions. But then by default down here, it's record only the most recent attempt, or you can choose, whichever one you want to send to the LMS gradebook. So in this case, I could change it to record all attempts, but send the first attempt to the LMS gradebook, which would give them a grade based upon their first attempt, but it would let them rewatch it multiple times and then resubmit the quiz questions for practice and be able to at least watch the video over and over. So this is the suggested set of settings for your quiz, but again, you have to make sure that this is turned on to be able to even get to the feedback settings for your quiz. So we'll save that, and then now we can actually begin to add in quiz questions. So we'll play the video to wherever we want to add in a quiz question, and then we'll add in a quiz question here. So we'll type in our question, we'll add in our answer choices. I can add additional options here. And then if you notice on the side, I have some different settings. So this speech bubble is actually adding in feedback. So if the student selects John Green as their correct answer, this is the feedback that they will receive. So now you can see that I've added in feedback based upon each of those answers. I do want to mark the correct answer, and then I can save that. Before doing so, notice that there is also an arrow here, so I can have it to where if they answer this question correctly, they'll get this feedback, but then it will jump to a specific point in the video. So maybe if they answer this correctly, they can jump later to the video because they don't need to watch everything, because this question shows that they have some prerequisite knowledge. It could be here that if they answer it incorrectly, it jumps them maybe back to the beginning of the video or an earlier part of the video that reviews this concept that they might have missed if they answered this question incorrectly. You can also give just a general hint, and this is just something that they can see when they view the question before they submit an answer. So then we'll save that. And then we'll actually be able to move on and add an additional question. So remember, you can add in multiple choice, select multiple, or multiple select, and true false are the ones that will allow that built-in feedback. So in this case, I would also choose the speech bubble and then just add in that feedback of what I would like for them to see and then mark the correct answer. The select multiple or multiple select does work a little bit differently. I would still type in my question here, and then I would need to mark all of the correct answers because this is a select all or multiple select choice options. Notice that there isn't a speech bubble beside these like we saw previously. The feedback is instead added here at the bottom, add feedback, and you're able to give an overall feedback here. And this would be more of an overall feedback given, not individually for each marked question because of the nature of this type of question. So we'll save that and then we could just continue on. You're welcome to add other types of questions. Those just don't specifically have the feedback option. So we can preview this if we want to. And here when we get to the question, we see what it would look like for the students. So remember, the hint is something that they can see before they answer the question. You may or may not choose to put those in. And then the students would select their correct answer and they can save it. They can choose this Am I Right feature, but it is going to save their answer choice and not allow them to come back if and re-answer it if they do choose this. So once I did check, is this correct? It showed me that it is correct. And then now we see this option of why, and this is where that feedback comes into play. So if I choose why, it tells me it's correct. And then this was the feedback that I typed in for that particular question. Then I would continue on. Same thing, I could answer the question. There isn't a hint provided for this question because I didn't build one in. I can choose to save it and move on. Or if I want that feedback immediately, I can choose Am I Right, confirm it, and then it would tell me. I can choose Why, and then it would give me my feedback. So now that we previewed that and we're happy with how it is laying out, then I would need to save this and then I would need to post it. Remember, you want to post it to any course that you would be using it in. So I'm just going to use it in this one, so I'd go ahead and post it. Now I'm able to pull that quiz into my D2L course. So I would go to the content area, I would find whatever module I would like for it to go into. I would choose existing activities, YuJa Media Chooser. Here I want to make sure to pick the quizzes side of things. Remember that just the videos are going to be located under media and under quizzes are going to be the videos that have quizzes embedded in them. If you have a lot of quizzes, it might be hard to find it. You can kind of scroll down and keep looking for the different ones. Or if you remember the name of it, you can search it right here. And again, this is why it's super important to have the name content quiz or quiz in the name of your video, because it's going to actually be located here under media as just the video itself, and then it's going to be located under here under quizzes as the quiz embedded in the video, and I want to make sure that I know the difference by having the word content quiz in the title. So I'm going to insert this one in and it should be ready to go. It's automatically going to create a grade item in the D2L gradebook for me for this because it is considered an external learning tool. So now let's see what it looks like for a student when they're completing it. As the student watches the quiz, they would just choose the correct answer. They do want to make sure to check Am I Right to be able to see that feedback. And then they would choose Why and then be able to see that information. Then they would just continue on with the video. But again, they do want to make sure to choose Am I Right rather than just Save to be able to see that built-in feedback, and then they would have to choose Why to be able to see all of that built in. Once they have completed the video and answered all of the questions, then they would be able to submit the quiz. This submit button is not going to turn to where they can actually submit it. It'll be kind of grayed out until they have either answered all the questions and or watched all the video, depending on how you have the settings set up. Once it is submitted, they'll see this message saying that the quiz has been submitted, and then it should automatically populate their grade in the D2L gradebook. If it hasn't already, it would do it very shortly, but we see it already populated it there. So that is how you can add in quiz feedback to certain question types within YuJa, and as well as how students will see that feedback.